The Vorthak Dominion had conquered 17 species using the same method. Infiltrate their minds, break their will, add them to the collective. No species had ever resisted the neural merge. Their telepathic prowess was absolute, their mental architecture perfect. Then they tried it on Captain Rebecca Torres. Subject is restrained. The lead Vorthak scientist, HFY Nell, hummed through its crystalline vocal cords. Its bulbous head pulsed with bioluminescent patterns as psychic energy gathered. Initiating neural intrusion. Rebecca struggled against the restraints in the sterile white chamber. Around her, 6 Vorthak formed a circle, their minds linking into a singular assault force. She'd been captured during a routine patrol near Europa, humanity's newest colony. Now she was about to become the first human test subject for Vorthak domination. The attack hit her like a sledgehammer. Foreign thoughts flooded her consciousness. Commands to submit, to yield, to become one with the collective. Rebecca screamed as alien neural pathways forced themselves into her mind, rewriting her thoughts, suppressing her will. For a moment it worked. Rebecca's struggles ceased. Her eyes glazed over. The monitoring equipment showed her brainwaves synchronizing with the Vorthak frequency. Success, HFY Nell reported. The human mind is even more primitive than anticipated. Beginning personality overwrite. But something was wrong. Deep in Rebecca's subconscious, in the parts of the human brain that the Vorthak didn't understand, something stirred. Millions of years of evolution had given humans a unique gift, the ability to compartmentalize trauma, to dissociate, to split their consciousness when under extreme stress. The Vorthak had taken control of Rebecca's conscious mind. They hadn't noticed her subconscious building walls. Irregularity detected. A subordinate warned. The subject's neural pattern is fragmenting? Impossible. HFY Nell increased the psychic pressure. No mind can partition itself during merger. But human minds weren't like others. Where most species had evolved straightforward consciousness, humans had developed layers upon layers of mental defense mechanisms. Childhood trauma, cognitive dissonance, the ability to believe contradictory things simultaneously. All the mental quirks that made humans seem irrational to other species were actually armor. Rebecca's consciousness split into pieces. The part under Vorthak control played along, following their commands. But other parts, the stubborn part that had survived her father's death, the angry part that had clawed her way through officer training, the protective part that would die for her crew, remained free. And they were learning. The Vorthak neural merge was a two-way street. While they poured into Rebecca's mind, she could feel theirs. Their telepathic network, so powerful and ancient, had never encountered a species that could lie to itself. They couldn't comprehend a mind that could be in multiple states at once. Subject is compliant, Rebecca heard herself say in a monotone voice. Inside, her free fragments were mapping the collective's architecture. HFY Nell's satisfaction pulsed through the link. Excellent. Now, human, tell us Earth's defense codes. Rebecca's mouth opened. But instead of codes, what came out was laughter. You want to know the funny thing about human minds? Her voice was her own again, though the monitors still showed Vorthak control. We're broken by default. Depression, anxiety, PTSD, dissociative disorders, we're a species of walking mental illness. And you just tried to take control of a mind that's been fighting itself for 37 years. The Vorthak recoiled as Rebecca's consciousness began to merge. Not under their control, but on her terms. The fragmented pieces of her mind came together, carrying with them understanding of the collective structure. No! HFY Nell tried to sever the connection, but it was too late. Rebecca had turned their greatest weapon against them. Where they had tried to absorb her into the collective, she was now absorbing the collective into herself. But unlike the Vorthak's rigid mental architecture, her human mind could hold contradictions. She could be Rebecca Torres and understand the collective without losing herself. You made one mistake, Rebecca said, standing as the restraints sparked and failed. You assumed mental unity was strength. But humans? We're strong because we're chaotic. We can believe 6 impossible things before breakfast and hold 12 contradictory opinions at once. The Vortak scientists collapsed one by one as Rebecca's consciousness spread through their network like a virus. Not controlling, she wasn't built for that. Instead, she was introducing them to anxiety, self-doubt, internal conflict. All the messy human emotions their perfect minds couldn't process. "Stop!" ZYXNL pleaded, its perfect telepathic harmony shattered by the introduction of human neuroses. "I can't stop it any more than you can," Rebecca said almost sympathetically. "Welcome to the human condition. We've been dealing with this noise in our heads forever. You lasted, 30 seconds? As the Vortak collective experienced its first existential crisis, Rebecca walked out of the facility. Earth's neural defense grid would need updating. The Vortak had given humanity the blueprint to their destruction. They just hadn't realized that human minds weren't weaknesses to be exploited. They were weapons waiting to be unleashed. Within days, the Vortak Dominion recalled all forces from human space, adding a new directive to their collective consciousness. Never attempt mental contact with humans again. Some weapons were too dangerous to use.